Hello and welcome back to Fusion's Ramblings! In this series, we spend a few minutes talking about random topics. Whatever they are, we just ramble on about them for 10 or 15 minutes or so, and you get to listen! Yay! Or maybe you don't. Anyways, today's topic is something very interesting. Do movies create the future? Now, think about it. We watch movies all the time. And of course, a lot of those movies are based on books, screenplays that were written, and ideas around that, right? Um, and a lot of those movies feature future technology, future environments, future ways of living, um, you name it. Some good, some bad. So the question is do movies play a part in where things go in the future? I'll give you an example. So if you go back to, let's just say the 60s, and you're watching the original Star Trek series, what are some things that you see in that TV show? You see things like tricorders, you see things like I forget what they're called. Oh my goodness, all the Trekkies are going to kill me. The walkie-talkie things. They're not walkie-talkies, but communicators. Sorry, my mind was stupid. So you see these things, and of course, you see different computer screens with graphics and things happening. Now, at the time, none of that really exists in the real world back then. Um, However, look at what happened today. We have mobile devices that allow us to communicate across vast distances, um, and it's handheld, right? And you can do all kinds of things on those mobile devices, including scanning codes and getting prices and looking up information about products and services. So, in a sense, almost a tricorder experience. Um, and of course, it's not exactly the same. I mean, in Star Trek, the communicator was mainly used from ship to planet communication, and a regular cell phone's not going to do that. It's dependent upon other things, obviously, a cell phone network, towers, things like that to allow the communication to happen. However, really, when you think about it uh, in a sense, it's almost the same thing. Like Star Trek and other shows too, because they exist in other shows, predicted that at some point people would have communicators instead of phones and would allow them to communicate with other people over vast distances. And then it happened. Now, of course, when that TV show came out, telephones were a thing. You had telephone in your house, and walkie-talkies were an army thing, but there were, radios and ham radios and CBs that did exist, allowing communication, wireless communication. Um, but having, the fact of just flipping out this small handheld device and making a phone call, or in this case, sending a message like we do today, or browsing the internet to get information, um, did not exist. So the question is did people that were fans of those shows, were those individuals, also the same individuals that invented some of the mobile technology that we have today? I don't know. I mean, I guess we could look it up and find out and ask those people and look at their bios and see if there's any mention of an inspiration or anything like that. Um, but it's interesting to think about. So then we can look at other technologies. I mean, there were plenty of shows in the past where they showed all kinds of fancy cars and vehicles and planes and trains and stuff that did for the time that they were shown back then, stuff that was unimaginable. Today, those things are normal. We hop in the car, we can drive really fast. There's expressways everywhere, there's subways everywhere, there's, high-speed trains, there's jets that travel, faster than the speed of sound, rocket ships that go to space on a regular basis. Um, there's a lot of stuff happening. I mean, even the first civilian um, astronauts, if you want to call them that, um, just went to space this last week on a SpaceX Dragon capsule, and while yes, a couple of them had military backgrounds and they had different backgrounds, in science and skill, they weren't from NASA. They weren't from a space program being operated by a government. They were just people that were selected. I don't know the process, I didn't look or anything, to go to space. And they did. And they did a lot of experience and stuff, but they never went through the rigorous astronaut training that, I don't know how long it is, 6 months to years of astronaut training before, NASA astronauts go to space. They went through a small, short program to learn about the capsule, learn safety things, stuff like that. And then, boom, they went to space and then they returned a few days later after orbiting, Earth a number of times. How cool is that, right? But those things would never have been imaginable or of being possible, in the past. So we see a lot of that, and the list is huge, where we could name things that existed or were shown in movies in the past that today are a reality. And today, again, we all like movies, we like TV shows, and we see all kinds of things, technologies, changes, and environments that don't exist today. So the question is will those things exist in the future? Now, some of them you can say yes. Like, for example, if you watch a movie where there's people living on Mars and there's a city on Mars, yes, it's going to happen, even without Elon Musk. It's going to happen. We know it is going to happen. But then there are other things that we can experience today or that we see today in a movie or whatever that don't exist. And it's like, okay, will that technology exist? Will we have a device that is able to transport us from one location to another? Will we all have personal flying vehicles and we fly around on superhighways that are in the sky, right? I mean, those are things that we see in movies. So are they going to happen in the future? Are we all going to have flying cars? There's some that exist today. They're kind of a hybrid plane, helicopter, drone, car thing. But that they're out there. So that's one possibility that it'll probably happen. Will there be robots that do jobs all the time and clean and stuff? There already are. Go to a manufacturing company, you will see robots all over the place doing jobs. Okay. So will there be more robots where, everybody has a robot in their house doing something like the Jetsons? Who knows? I don't see why not. Some people might be afraid that they're going to take our jobs away, but I don't think that'll really ever happen. I mean, think about it. Companies are smart, corporations are smart, they're not stupid. They know that if overall they replace their entire workforce with robots, which is great for them, cost-wise, at some point they'll no longer sell their products. Why? Well, because nobody's working. Nobody has money to buy anything. So, there's a balance that'll happen automatically. Um, anyways, I think. Oh no, we still got time. I was going to say we're almost up on our time, but we've got plenty of time. I'm searching for fish again. If you haven't tell, uh, or if you can't tell, I traveled to a warmer, what I thought was a warmer area, and it's evidently not because it still looks cold and murky. I could switch over to my map. I know it's not going to show on screen, but let's take a look here. You're just going to see a screen as I sink to the bottom of the ocean. I need to go west and north. West and north. Okay. Let's go to a tropical area. All right, so that's west, that's north. We need to go this way. Very descriptive. All you see is floating bubbles and the silhouette of stuff in the darkness. And it's daytime. um, I'm still trying to find fish for my aquarium. I have collected quite a few, but I need to collect more. And of course, in my other series, you'll get to see the aquarium, either being put together or showcased or whatever. Um, anyways, back to topic. Hey, we're rambling. We can talk about anything. um, so going back to, do movies help not predict the future, but show us, what could be possible in the future? I'm going to say yes, because it's based on people's imaginations, whether it came from a book or it came from something else. Someone imagined that reality, and there is the potential that it could come true. Now, of course, some of them we would never want to come true because they're just horrible, horrible. Your apocalyptic worlds, destruction of the earth, wars, all of that. I mean, nobody really wants any of that stuff. But there is the potential that technologies and other things that we see, including the way people live, all of that, um, are possibilities for the future because somebody might see it in that movie, like it, and then make it happen. You know, that's the way things work. They see things and they make things happen. Or the other way it works is that they see something that's missing or not working, and so they look for how can they fix that. I mean, look at what both young people and adults do today when they put their mind to it. I mean, you've got like that kid that wanted to clean up the oceans, and so he put together an organization to help do that. He designed a device that skims garbage from the ocean, and today he's out there. He's got devices in a couple places, I believe, collecting trash out of the ocean. I mean, that's one example, and that's just an environmental example. There are shows all the time where I see kids that have put something together that is just wow. It's amazing. It's amazing of what they do, and not just young people too. I mean, adults do the same thing. All the technology we use was created by someone. Someone had to think of it. They imagined it, or they saw a need, they experimented, put it together, and voila, today we have it. And movies and books and online games, um, they are a great influence for others. Uh, how many people growing up wanted to be an astronaut? Tons of people. Why did they want to be an astronaut? Well, some of them might be because they just looked up at the sky and they saw stars and they went, ooh, neat, I want to go there. But for most of them, they watched a TV show, they heard a radio drama, they read a book, they watched the news, they saw other people doing it, they saw it on shows, movies, read about it, people traveling in space, and that's what made them decide that they want to be an astronaut. Same thing with wanting to be a fireman. They see the firemen down the street, they watch the shows, the heroism behind it, the recognition that you can get because of, saving lives or putting out fires or whatever, and so they want to be a fireman or a doctor or, a lawyer or a scientist or an engineer, you name it. Um, we are all influenced by the things around us. And I think definitely entertainment has a huge influence um, on all of us for our imaginations, what we can accomplish, and what we might be able to do. Um, and so as time progresses, I'm sure that a lot of the things that we see today in our in shows and stuff are going to be the things that will exist in the future. I already have that fish. And it's dark. Let's home bed, sleep again, and change it today. Hey kitties, maybe I should take you with me. Can you catch some like exotic fish for me? There we go. I am just not having much. Oh wait, maybe I need. Okay, now there's fish, but I already have. Those are the emperor red snappers. These are snappers too. I have them. I forget what they're called. It's so hard to collect fish in Minecraft. The rare ones. I have all the common ones. Anyways, back to our topic to close out. You know, I guess I could say that we shouldn't let um, our imaginations not be creative. If you see something, go after it. Be creative. Look for ways to make it happen. Um, because that's what makes the world a neat place. And we all have the opportunity to contribute in different ways, whether it's small or large, we all contribute. Um, and so definitely, if you see something that you think would help, if you think of something that you think would be cool, if you imagine something that would be neat, then go make it happen, or find someone who can make it happen, because not all of us have the technical skill for everything, right? And that way we can evolve and change the world, hopefully for the better, um, in the way that we want pufferfish. We don't want pufferfish. Um, and we can see those changes. And just stay away from the movies that predict the bad futures. We don't want those. Look for the creative things, the things that are unique and neat, um, that everybody can either use or um, take advantage of or appreciate. You name it. That's what we want. All right. Well, I think we're out of time today, but thank you very much for joining as we rambled on about the future and what entertainment, movies, books, all of that could possibly contribute to that on Fusion's Ramblings. Thank you, everybody. See you in the next video.